Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our MDCAT preparatory classes. Today's topic is colon and semicolon. First of all, semicolon, a colon. A colon qualifies a sentence by meaning or explanation. It means that there is a sentence here, and after semicolon, after colon, we will have explanation or meaning of that sentence. We have an example here. She is looking very disappointed. Here we have placed a colon here, and the next sentence is she couldn't qualify the test. It means that she is looking very disappointed, and she couldn't qualify the test. So she couldn't qualify the test is giving explanation why is she disappointed. So we learned that a colon can present a meaning or explanation of some statement. We have another sentence. My father taught me the most important thing. We have a colon here, and here we have only one word. That one word also gives the meaning of the whole sentence used before. So, my father taught me the most important thing. It means that is patience. So, the whole sentence has only one meaning, that is patience. It is explained here in this sentence. There is another use of colon, that it separates dialogues from a character. We have studied dramas, and in dramas or plays, we'll find that here the name is a character, and after a colon, there is a dialogue. We have a dialogue from Shakespeare's uh, play Hamlet, that is to be or not to be, that is the question. So this is dialogue that is told by Hamlet. We can put inverted commas over it, but if we do not put inverted commas, then it is also okay. We have only to put a colon after the name of the character here, and then our dialogue starts. The third use of colon is to introduce examples. When we give some examples of something, then after example, yeah, or after like, we have to put colon here. To make a cake, you will need some ingredients. For example, now we have a colon here after the word for example: flour, sugar, milk, butter, eggs. So, uh, in example, when we describe different items, then before describing them, we put a colon after the word example or like. Here we have another use to introduce a list. My favorite sports are football, basketball, tennis, and golf. We have put a colon here. My favorite sports are a colon, and now after the colon, there is a list of different items. So, without using the word example or like, we can give a list of different items after the colon, just like we have an example here. My favorite sports are colon, football, comma, basketball, tennis, and golf. So these are very simple uses of colon, and I think that it is very easy to learn. And now we go to our second topic, that is semicolon. Semicolon is a mark of punctuation which is used in different sentences. The first use is it connects two independent clauses that are related. It means that are related to each other. So these independent clauses are joined sometimes by coordinating conjunctions. We use coordinative conjunctions. In the use of comma, we have learned that coordinative conjunctions are used to connect two independent clauses. And they are mostly used, but sometimes We can also use a semicolon without using any coordinate conjunction and without using any comma. A semicolon is enough to connect to independent clauses. So we have two clauses here. She is a talented singer, and under independent clauses, she is also a musician. But they are interrelated. The first independent clause and the second independent clause, she is a talented singer, she is also musician, both are interrelated, but when we connect it, we have to put a semicolon here, and after semicolon, we can write the other independent clause here. The other way to connect two independent clauses is that we can also use conjunctive adverbs here. Just like we used coordinative conjunctions, in the same way we can use conjunctive adverbs. So we have an example here. She wanted to go to the beach, however, it started raining. When we use a conjunctive adverb and we use a semicolon and a comma, semicolon before the subjunctive adverb and comma after the subjunctive adverb. This is also a way to connect two independent clauses. The first is to use a semicolon, the other is to use coordinative conjunction, and the third is conjunctive adverbs. They can connect two independent clauses. Independent clauses are those clauses which are separated from the main sentence, then they also become sentences, they stand on their own. Another way is to connect two independent clauses is to use transitional expressions. Transitional expressions work as the conjunctive adverbs, but these expressions are mostly some phrases or some clauses. We have an example here. He likes reading novels. On the other hand, his brother is fond of music. So we have two independent clauses here. He likes reading, and other clause is his brother is fond of music. So if we remove it from the rest of the sentence, this is a complete sentence. He likes reading novels, and this independent clause will become a sentence. His brother is fond of music. But if we connect them, and in this connection we use transitional expressions, then we have to put a semicolon here and put a comma in the last of that expression. He likes reading novels, semicolon. On the other hand, comma, his brother is fond of music. We have another example here. He is the best player in our team. Without any doubt, he will lead us to victory. So we have used here another transitional expression, that is without any doubt, and it connects both the independent clauses. We can use also conjunctive adverb and can also use a transitional expression to connect to independent clause. The second use of semicolon, it is used to separate items in a complex list. Sometimes we have a simple list and sometimes we have a complex list. So we have an example that how complex lists are here. Just like they visited Paris, France, Lisbon, Portugal, Venice, Italy, and Madrid, Spain. If we look here, there are some names of cities and the names of countries. So we cannot write them only with commas, but as there are pairs of two words, just like Paris belongs to France, Lisbon belongs to Portugal, and Venice belongs to Italy, and Madrid belongs to Spain. So between Paris and France, we have to put a comma, but between Lisbon and Portugal, we have to put a colon here. In the same way, we continue our list of complex things and put a colon after the pair of different items. They visited Paris, France, Lisbon, Portugal, Venice, Italy, and Madrid, Spain. In this is complete sentence. Another sentence we have, the inquiry committee consists of Mr. Gangaram, comma, lecturer. After lecturer, we have to put a semicolon here. Because after lecturer, we have another name. Mr. Suhail, professor, and Mr. Noor Muhammad, principal. So this is also a complex list. In this list, we have names and their profession. So Mr. Gangaram is a lecturer, and Mr. Suhail is a professor, and Mr. Nurman Shah is a principal. So we have list of not only names but their jobs also, their job description. So we have to put a semicolon after Mr. Gangaram, comma, and lecturer. Then we have to put a semicolon here. Mr. Suhail, we have to put a comma here, and professor, we can put a semicolon here also in the last item before and if we do not put it makes no difference. So we have a sentence, the inquiry committee consists of Mr. Gangaram, comma, lecturer, semicolon, Mr. Suhail, comma, professor. Here we may put a semicolon here, and Mr. Noor Muhammad Shah, comma, principal. So this is semicolon and this is colon we have learned today. I think you have understood that. Thank you very much.